Hoarding Awareness Week is an opportunity for the Fire and Rescue Service to recognise the incidents of hoarding that are occurring, and from our data appear to be on the increase.
There are three reasons why we want to have a Hoarding Awareness Week. The first is just to raise awareness, and that's to raise awareness both within the fire and rescue community but also with our partners. The second is about just increasing our understanding of the issues that relate to hoarding. And I suppose the third issue is about just giving better support, and that's for giving support to people with tendency to hoard, but also to other organisations.
There are very few facts and figures about hoarding prevalence and incidents because historically they haven't been recorded that way.
The estimates are somewhere between 1 and 3% of properties in the UK are hoarding properties. However, somewhere between 25 and 30% of fire deaths are relating to hoarding. The two things are very, very incongruous.
As part of the hoarding protocol, I was often asked what can the fire service do to reduce risk in some of the most serious cases of hoarding. One of the things that occurred to me was that sprinklers could be an opportunity to significantly reduce the risk to a person in a hoarded environment. So we worked with our colleagues in BAFSA, we worked with our colleagues at the Building Research Establishment in Watford, and together we put together a fire test rig of hoarding of various materials, set fire to it and watched how the domestic sprinkler setup responded in that circumstances. Early indications are that actually, fitted correctly, the sprinkler setup will significantly reduce the risk to the occupants in the premises, and secondly, it will significantly reduce the risk to firefighters responding to what is a very difficult set of firefighting circumstances.
When we're dealing with fires in hoarding properties, there are some very, very specific risks involved, such as the fact that the access and egress may or may not be controlled and may be different than we would find in a normal property. Also, the fire loading will be different in relation to a property where hoarding occurs.
I think a lot of people want to help in these circumstances, but the key to being able to help is understanding the condition. It's an anxiety-based issue, and their hoarding isn't a problem. Their hoarding is their solution. So if you take their stuff away, that will make them more anxious.
I think the one challenge we will have is to firstly identify where we have environments where hoarding is taking place, and making sure we share that data with the right people and bring together a collaborative response to dealing with that particular risk.
I think that success for this year's campaign will be a much greater awareness of hoarding and the issues that are related to it. There's massive enthusiasm across all fire and rescue services to be involved with this and to reduce the effects of hoarding across the country.
We see examples across the country of fantastic best practice that fire brigades and fire authorities are already pursuing. So I think our ultimate measure of success is that that best practice can be shared, and we see that fire and rescue services across the country have better data, have better support and better toolboxes to be able to deal with this quite challenging piece of work.
The real key is people need support, not judgment, and they need understanding, which will then lead to action, and that action can then lead to them finding solutions that work for them.